Another Bing. Another Bing. Okay, right. So this is the, after a hiatus for the summer holiday, it's time for the local support client meeting. We've got Sam, we've got Rachel in London, we've got Michael on the east coast of the US. Yeah, let's go to a bit of a screen share. Go over here. Do I want to just briefly minimize that? Okay, so anything to add to the agenda, Rachel? I've got an agenda with the usual things. Michael and I, from about an hour before, we've been preparing and so on. And anything that you'd like to do?
I saw some emails going around. So.
Yes. But yeah, nothing of particular importance to add to the agenda at this time?
No, I think.
All right, good show. Well, let's get into the sequence here. So, yeah, I mean, there's some outstanding action for me that I just I haven't done. I'm kind of Michael and I have been some others coordinating on pull requests and so on, whatever. But I haven't really kind of got back into the cycle of these things, so I'll hit that next time. We've got this Alex talking to CVS's. I guess that's an ongoing thing.
I think that's just an ongoing thing. If he's at meetings, he goes to meetings.
Yeah.
So if it comes up.
Good show. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, basically, there's a general thing about me following up with APIs for different organizations. So yeah, Michael, Marin, and John have been working on this. The form and updating the please confirm if you're a not-for-profit organization. That actually has now been completed, and I think we can show you stuff from that today on production and get things accepted. But yeah, the key thing really is just to go straight to the usual review. So yeah, if we go and sort of look through, we're still not, we're still in this third place in the ranking. We're always being trumped by BAH Cooperative. I don't know who they are, but they seem to be very obviously employing great SEO.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I'd love us to have the nice thing where we get the different sub pages and so on. I think we have to wait on Google's whim to see if that ever happens. I guess. Well, I don't know. We could look into it. But anyway, we've got some other background chores and not so relevant. So we've got 4 things basically that I believe are now all live on the production server that we'd like to get checked off. So one of this is that the work that Ichi did is that she, based on the feedback from one of the users, adjust the sizes of password reset messages and so on. And I think, so basically, this is what it looks like now. And
Okay.
this is the live thing. And I think you've probably seen these before at one stage or another.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I would have seen them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you remember how it was before. I think what it was previously is that there was, there was some very, very large lettering, and then the actual message that was kind of relevance was, didn't really stand out. So, I mean, there's a final thing. I think that this particular kind of error message, this is when, if you do a password reset and you click through on the link like a week later and it's expired,
Yeah.
it ends up telling you this, which is not necessarily, like, I'm not very happy with the language there. And we have a, another chore to kind of like update that language. But when this says, your 2 passwords don't match, like, I think it's more manageable. Anyway, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, I think the word token is a bit unnecessary. Your part.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if I go back to what was the original, do I have? Yeah. And so I think we can have a much better error message in that case. And I've got like this. Yeah, we've got a little chore for us there, and I think it would, if we had something like, reset. Well, it's a token again. It's like sort of, we could say reset has timed out, and then say please request a new. Please click forgot password link again. Like if it actually had some information telling you how you were supposed to deal with this error, then that might be easier. But go back to here. But so, for example, here in this context, these messages I think make reasonable. I mean, not everyone's going to understand them, but
we'll both come up. What if you make either mistake?
Yeah. So this is basically, there's 2 types of mistakes that you can make here. One of which is that the password doesn't match the confirmation, and the other one is that we've got a. This is sort of a standard thing that the password needs to be at least 8 characters. So this is on the previous screen. I've typed in 2 passwords that are both too short and don't match each other. So it's given me these 2 errors.
Yeah. So if you got the right number of letters, but they didn't match, would it show both options?
No, it would show just one. So if we try again now, like if we just do this and I do something, I don't know, like that, and they both had sufficient length, and I did change my password, we'll see. Let's go there. I've seen something, but basically it will only show one or other of those messages.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So I mean, the key thing really, I don't know if we can't go back to it. Yeah, is the terminology and so on can subsequently be changed, but if we're happy with this as an improved style over the old style, then I'll click this off as being acceptable to you at this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So that's done there. Yeah. So the edit mode for individual. So now I'm annoyed that I logged out. Log in again and click other things and do that. But so now in the edit mode, as well as having 3, we now have our nice layout for the categories.
Okay, yeah, that looks good.
You've seen before, and yeah. So if that's all good, that's all in production. We'll put accept in there. We also have now in production now. We have the proposed organization, add organization, and so we now have this has been updated here. So we've just got a single checkbox where you can tick whether you are or are not a not-for-profit organization, and then on the submitted thing you can see the update. I've just got an example. For example, here this was on the develop server, but it either basically at the moment eligibility is just blank, or if the person ticked it, then they've got that in there. So any proposed organization coming in, when you review them as the admin, you'll be able to see whether they've ticked that checkbox or not.
Yeah, that's useful.
Yeah. I mean, I think. Yeah, I mean, I could start making suggestions about changes to that. I mean, I think this sort of discourages people from submitting if they're not a not-for-profit organization. But well, anyway, there we go. Yes, I mean, I guess in the process of operating and using this, if you see text that you feel like, oh, I would like to change that slightly or whatever, just let us know. That's a relatively simple fix. So yeah, that's. But basically, what we've got is it doesn't prevent you submitting if they don't check that checkbox.
Okay.
As we discussed previously, that's probably given that there's not a lot of people clicking it. But
then I can follow them up on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll click accept there, and then this is one that you won't mind too much, but we had, so Ichi did a lot of work for us within the site, and she wasn't showing up in the list of contributors, and that was due to a problem which we now fixed, and there she is. Ichi is there in the top 8 contributors for the site. So yeah, so that was sort of a feature for us rather than for you, but I guess that if I go ahead and click accept there. Yeah, so we've got a few chores. So that's all live and working. The main stuff that we've got kind of in play at the moment is so Michael and Marion and others have been working on these features of changing the ad administrator process, so that when you I don't know if you remember that actually let's go to. I've got to turn that off. That when you are editing your organization, that if you put in an email address that wasn't an existing user in the system, then it would just say, "I'm sorry, you can't do that."
Okay.
And so Michael's worked on a solution. Oh, goodness me. Why is it still on? I was just thinking that. Michael's got a solution there so that it will automatically, if the person doesn't exist in the system, then they'll automatically be invited. but I think I haven't fully merged that in yet. It's certainly not on production. I think it's not yet on development. But yeah, so here, yeah. So if you started to add other email addresses, it would potentially invite them. I guess we probably don't have an immediate demo to show you of that. Probably I need to, sensibly I should like put in and prep, and we'll show that to you next week. But that should go hand in hand with, so there's that, and then also, yeah, when you go through, like, you already get an email that alerts you when somebody proposes an organization, I think.
Yeah, and I had a couple of those in the last hour, and I presume something new, and then I realised it's probably you.
Us just doing the testing, yes. So hopefully that's all ready for. But so what we've got in the works is, as well as you being notified, well, then when you press the accept button for the new organization, I guess actually is this one generic? Does this apply to both proposed organizations and for people being added to when they're just being added through this mechanism?
Through that mechanism, yes.
So through this mechanism, yes. What about when if Rachel approves an organization? Does that go ahead? At the moment, I guess it doesn't. If Rachel approves an organization, it doesn't automatically create any kind of account, does it? Like a user account. No, I think that's a separate thing to work on. Yeah, so this feature here, that's specifically for this, and we'll have to.
That was the next one in the priority list or whatever.
Yeah, so email notification for a site admin when org is proposed. Actually, that one sounds like that's done. Email notification for a site admin when org is proposed. I think
that's done.
Yeah. Okay. So that
just wasn't estimated.
Right. Okay. So I guess it wasn't that hard. It seems like in retrospect. And Rachel has just told us that that's working. So I guess you'll accept that one, Rachel.
I didn't pay much attention to the content of the email, but I was getting emails.
Yeah. Okay. So we can update that subsequently. Okay. There we go. That's our process. But yeah, I'm not immediately. Anyway, I think there is going to be the issue of updating the. Is it for site admin? Oh, wait a sec. This is site. See, is site admin is like the super admin, or is the admin? No, there's org admin, isn't it? Yeah. I feel like we're kind of missing.
I think a site admin was, say, for somebody from VAR, but.
Yeah.
Site admin was actually. I assumed that was incorrect. I had, perhaps this was wrong of me, but I assumed that site admin was actually meant to be super admin in that feature because site admin doesn't have any power over.
No, yeah, I think that sounds right. And I think we've got. I guess I'll just do like a little email check there. That's finished. Let new org admin. So that's the one that you're working on there. But then have we not got? It feels like there's a separate thing of like, it feels like there's a separate issue there of so a person who's just had their organization approved should be notified. I guess at the moment at the moment there's a whole flow there, Michael, where the person who's had their organization approved would then have to log into the site and create a user, and then associate it with the site. Is that right?
Yes, that's the way it is right now. Though there was suggestions, I think, that if they had an email, because when they propose an org, there's a slot for the email.
Yeah, right. We could auto
try to automatically associate an account with that email and invite it. Although I would suggest that there is a method. There's a method in the site for Rachel right now, I believe, that when she accepts a proposed org, she can then go into the
Oh,
the,
right. She can then do
you can invite that user.
Invite. Yeah. Are you following what we're discussing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah. So
Because if the email is already on the account, then she can invite the user, but it would require additional steps.
Right. Get a user account. So I think that I'm sort of creating a story there. I think we need to do some like investigation and sort of look at the flows associated with that. I mean, I guess the things that we've got next on the agenda there, Rachel, are, search input bar staying on the organization view pages, allowing volunteer locations to be different from the org location. Any sense of things that you're seeing as higher or lower priority?
I think the one about the volunteer opportunities being different from the organisation would be good to go with. Next.
Yeah, would that be higher priority than the search input bar staying?
I think so.
Yeah, we'll just swap those over. Okay. And what about this? I mean, alerting the organisation proposer that their org has been accepted. Would you see that as higher priority than the volunteer thing?
Yeah, I think keeping that at the top.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think maybe Michael and I now, if we've got time, we'll kind of review this a bit further and come back to it. But yeah. So actually, I mean, in some ways, we've kind of, I mean, there's a lot has been done. Are you? I mean, there's almost like an opportunity in the not distant future to review the icebox and see. Do you have a strong feeling about the direction of the site going forward?
No, I mean, the only thing
what needs the most work? Go on.
We're still waiting for outcome on the funding decision from Harrow Council. I'm hoping that will come through in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
If that does come through, I've put in some money for sort of developing the site from sort of your end, but also some money to get somebody to actually come and work on this.
Yeah.
Put some more time in. So if that comes through as a positive, then I think that will. I mean, we'll sort of need to focus on which was around sort of a separate page for the forum.
The forum, yes, right,
Yeah,
for the Harrow Community Forum, yes.
So I think if depending on that result, I think that will sort of direct us either down that route or not, depending. Okay,
well, that makes perfect sense. That was just making me think, what was that making me think? Oh yes, so I think I am now incurring sort of like a $10 a month expense now for our security certificates now that our Heroku grant has run out, and I guess I will just sort of bear that at the moment. But yeah, it would be lovely if some money does come in to cover basic costs.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should be covering that cost rather than you.
Oh, okay. Anyway. All right. Well, we can talk about that on
another
day. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Great. Okay. Yeah. So then that covers the system here. I mean, I think what I'm also tempted is, I'm hoping we might have a bit of space to sort of clear some of these other bits and pieces of bugs and so on, rather than necessarily leaping into new features. But there might be some space. The only other thing I was going to mention is I was just reviewing the site and I was seeing how. Am I logged in now on the main site? I was seeing how there are in the admin there are a number of proposed edits from about 5 months ago that are hanging around here.
Okay.
Which
I think I just wasn't aware of them. So that must have been when we had a volunteer in.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll go through those.
And they look. Yes. I wonder if any of them is. Oh, but yeah, some of them they look like. Sensible ones to accept. So yeah. Anyway, I've got the. That's how to find the proposed edit. Basically, admin. So again, it's this thing of notifications and so on. But yes, if you have a look through those, that'll be good. Okay. Yeah. Great. All right. Anything else that we need to cover today?
No, that sounds good.
Excellent. All right. Lovely. All right. Well, other things being equal, then same time next week. Catch up with you then.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Michael, you're going to hang around for a bit.
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, I was going to put in an action for Rachel review proposed edits. Come back. out by one there. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I wondered if we might just. So this, I guess this could be. It feels like there's several stories in here that could be, you know, big or small or all sorts of things. Do you know what I mean? Like, I guess there's like one is, you know, simply email user when org is accepted. Well, that's only the alternative, so I'm going to put star. And so we've got, or we could, that would be the simplest one. You know, it could be like, you know, automatically send invite with custom message that says, you know, the normal invite says, oh, you know, please join. Blah, blah, blah. Whereas, you know, this one could, you know, say, oh, your org has been accepted. Well done. Please click on this link. You know, we sort of pre-create the user account for them, and then they would click through, and they'd be all associated, and it'd be all set up. I guess, it all assumes that we have an email address, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess if we've got an email address, we might as well create an account for them. Do you think?
Automatically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it seems like, I mean, I guess, yeah, maybe I should have, I'm sort of partly worried not to take up too much of Rachel's time, but I guess this discussion here is, it's sort of like, if we just let them know that it's happened, and then there's basically a series of manual labor, like basically it's like either, you know, we're putting labor onto Rachel to say, right now, do the invite mechanism, and she's got to find it and sort it out and do it. And like, why would she want to do that? And the message is going to be maybe not appropriate. Or say to the user, you've got to like sign up and so on, whatever. It seems like the friendly thing to do is to, I mean, if they don't want that user account or they want it with another email address or whatever, it's not the end of the world, right?
Right.
So I guess I'm tempted to do that. I guess, did you think we should get Rachel's input before we point that story?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'll put like seems like the way to go. Get client input on this. Yep. Okay. Well, then we can sort of leave it there as something pending client input, and we can sort of let's get this all sorted out, and then we'll talk about it next week. Okay.
Although there is not there, right now there's nothing that actually forces them to put an email in, or that the email is actually valid.
No. Well,
well,
I mean, yeah, I mean, but we can quickly basically, if there's no email, they don't get an invite. You know, the thing is created. They'd have to get. You know, that's if they didn't feel like giving us. So you know, we only send this invite if there was an email, and I mean, you know, there's an issue about email validation, but we can easily catch those error cases and just send the, you know, custom message. Anyway, we'll check in with Rachel next week. Let's get this stuff cleared first. So I guess, yeah, in order to sort of pull it together, well, Rachel might now be working on that. I guess I'm tempted to leave deploying whatever's on staging. I'm still slightly unclear about what it feels like that staging just has a series of. Are we on what branch are we on now? Check out staging. Jordan must do something. I think that's what that beeping is. And so here, and then get hit. Yeah, I guess there's some bug fixes, and then this thing that we thought was in there already. I'm just confused. I don't know. I guess I'm going to choose a quiet moment and deploy staging to production, check that the things we're working on still work, and then yeah, develop onto staging, try and see what's going on there, and yeah, merge in. Yeah, I guess the way to go is to merge these in. I need a calm moment to review. So anyway, I kind of gave you some verbal feedback on this refactoring. Did you like it seems like this one could be rewritten?
I actually tried to rewrite it, and it's actually relying on that last if is actually checking a Boolean condition from that private method. So if it doesn't return true, then it should return nil.
Okay. I mean, it feels like basically, isn't it just that this add existing here, this method is assuming that there is an email.
Well, here's the thing. Add existing user, create a new. That process can have failures.
Right.
Like, say that they just enter the word user as the email, so it's not even a valid email.
Right.
The way that the app works right now is that nothing will be updated and there will be an error message saying, hey, that's not actually a real email.
Yeah.
So that update attribute should not run. Right now I've kind of assumed that it's an all or nothing proposition.
Yes. Okay. No, fair enough. I mean, I guess we've got. Yeah, and but this is sort of saying in this case, let's get out of Dodge and do this, and then okay, so in this area now we know that the email is not blank, so we're going to do this. This might, I mean, in the case that this returns some sort of error, it just returns false.
Yeah.
Right.
So then it never runs the update attributes.
Right. But shouldn't it? I would have thought that it, like, if you're doing the update attributes and you sort of change the address of your thing, and you mistyped the user, the email, you'd still want it to update the bit that was correct. I mean, it feels like when it's checking the validity of the email, what's it doing to check the validity of it? Is it trying to send it, or it's just checking that it's well formed?
Trying to send it.
It's trying to say, okay, so if the email operation, oh really? I mean, I sort of assumed that there was kind of fire and forget, but like so it tries to send it, and if it immediately gets a failure, like this is not a well-formed email address,
yeah,
then that kind of stops, and the user gets an immediate feedback, and like, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes, it still it still feels convoluted. I mean, I guess
the whole method feels convoluted. I've thought about extracting the whole thing into a service.
Yeah.
There's still this coordination problem, whether we would want to go ahead and update attributes anyway.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I guess we've got the form is sort of saying, here's multiple things that you can do. One of which is you can update all these different attributes. The other thing is that you can try and add this email address. And so there's almost like, I mean, it sort of feels like, we should kind of try, like,
it's going with the behavior that it's going along with the behavior that we already have in the site right now.
Yeah.
If you enter an email that doesn't exist, it just fails on you.
Right. So I mean, yeah, right, and and it then highlights that box and then says, yeah, well, and I guess it's like stopping the whole process. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. I mean, the thing that I'm just thinking here is, I mean, anytime that we're seeing, logic like this in an if-else end with these two different
The
things.
thing we may try that may be worth trying is breaking these things apart.
Yeah.
In that we may, now that I'm thinking about it, it may make more sense to try and break it apart at the user interface level.
Right.
Like, in other words, rather than having it all submitted as one form, use like a AJAX call and have like a button that says update.
Right. Okay.
Add this user as an admin or something, so that it becomes like an atomic operation.
Yes, that you're doing just that one thing and it's not mixed in with everything else. And well, even it doesn't necessarily need to be an AJAX call, right? It could still be like you could have.
It could still be just a separate.
I mean, I guess in terms of like us supporting older browsers and things. I mean, you could just have two separate forms, right? And they would be different. There'd be different things that you could do in the page, right? So one would be update everything. I mean, I guess there's a.
Well, how old are we trying to support? I mean, Internet Explorer has AJAX, right?
Yeah, no, it's true.
Like it's the first browser.
I mean, I think there's the desire to be able to fail gracefully. I think we can certainly have AJAX, but it would be nice to. I think the internet's being okay. I'm in a Hangout and it's smooth.
I guess if they didn't have JavaScript turned on, but then if they didn't have JavaScript turned on, a lot of the site wouldn't work anyway.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I think we're in we're in that. Yeah. Anyway, I think maybe shall we wrap it up there and I'm going to need to go and do some other things, and I'll leave you to think over like what might make this simpler at the overall. I guess I'm sort of. I mean in some ways, yeah. I mean the sort of modern functionality is that you type in the email and it in the background it's doing an AJAX request and it's automatically checking and saying, and then it shows you like the user with their names. Of course, we don't have first names and last names for our users, but it's like, it sort of auto completes, and then you click on it and it's like, yes, that was the user that we wanted to add, and it just goes through and it's fine. And if it doesn't find it, then you have to do something else. Yes, I think yeah. Let's spend some time sleeping on how we might change the interface.
Well, I think that would be totally separate from this pull request, right? I mean,
well, I mean, I can pull in the earlier pull request. I mean, yeah. I mean, well, that kind of thing would potentially change out this. No, I mean, yeah. If this needs to work in the way that I mean, it still feels like. Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess if we're going with the user interface experience, is that if any part of the entire thing is fails a validation, of which this is one, then the whole thing will stop. Yes. I mean, it feels like these two things should be separate methods. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of a code smell of I don't know. I mean, it's not so heinous, but we're kind of like, at the moment, we've got the this long method name cramming in doing this thing. So this is like add existing user, and this is like create new user.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so that would, if we split out the two methods there, that makes the summary of it more readable. I mean, this is getting towards readability. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this and look at it again on one of my commutes. If you feel inspired to make any further changes to it, please do. Otherwise, I'll take another pass on it.
All right.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Michael. I'll catch up with you very soon, tomorrow or whenever. Yeah.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye for now.